Let's go to this big article also in the Hill about how Kevin McCarthy's the fight for speakership is a specter that's all that informs everything that's going on in the lame duck. As you see it right now, the tough decision, Steve Cortez, because here's what I keep telling people, including people, Trump, the MAGA movement, all of it around Trump, all of it is that there's structural things that are going to happen here in the next 5 weeks before Nancy Pelosi gets thrown out. They're going to try to craft the conversation in the direction of the country 23, 24 and beyond. Steve Cortez.
No, absolutely. And I want to implore the patriots out there to stay at the wheel, pay attention, because it is tempting after you've worked so hard for an election in which we didn't do as well as we wanted, but we won the House. Massive victory, okay? Huge victory. We have a major lever of power. It's tempting to sort of take the rest of the year off, right? And just pay attention to friends and family as we head into Christmas time. That is an understandable temptation, but I'm asking you and imploring you, don't do that. Why? Because these next few weeks can be incredibly consequential, because Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi have plans to fundamentally change this country in permanent ways in the coming weeks. And we must pressure the House and especially the Senate GOP to stand up against those plans. And let me give you a specific example. There's a lot of examples, but let me start with one that I just wrote about, which is this Gay Marriage Act that might very well pass the U.S. Congress, which really has nothing to do with gay marriage, which is already legal and established precedent throughout the entire United States. What it really is an attack upon religious liberty in the United States. And I point out in my article on what I call really indulgences that big business pays to the left and pays to the establishment and to permanent Washington so that it can engage in practices, business practices that are very harmful to American citizens. They effectively pay indulgences to the left. The latest indulgence relates to this Marriage Act, which, again, isn't really about marriage. It's about giving a weapon to the federal government to attack religious liberty. And I detail it in the article, specifically the National Association of Manufacturers. Okay, now, Steve, right now, as we have proven on this show, manufacturing, as represented by Manufacturing PMI, Purchasing Managers Index, has fallen into recessionary territory. Manufacturing is in a recession in this country, is in dire straits. The National Association of Manufacturers, a once revered body in Washington, D.C., that has a lot of political capital still in Washington, D.C., rather than addressing the systemic issues that Biden, the hurdles that Biden has put in front of manufacturing in this country, what are they focused on? They're focused on this ridiculous campaign of manufacturers for gay marriage. I mean, it's so nonsensical, it almost seems like it's a tagline or it's a Babylon Bee article. No, it's very real. But why are the manufacturers doing that? It's not necessarily because they care all that much about the issue. It's because they must give their offering. They must pay indulgences to the cathedral, to the left, and support this bill, which, again, will not change anything regarding marriage because civil gay marriage is already a reality in the entirety of the United States. What this new bill will do, if it's passed, is provide a very powerful weapon to eventually knock on the rectory door of any church that says marriage is between one man and one woman and hold them accountable in civil and criminal ways. Mark my words. This is being planned. By the way, the vote may well be this week, but this is being planned for this lame duck session, and it's one example of many of how the Dems intend to use these coming weeks as their last opportunity before we take the House to fundamentally change America. We have to stop them.
Remember, take the House and the 24 cycle for the Senate. You're going to have guys like Tester and Manchin are going to be heaving too. So they know this is the last time they get a free shot on gold. I understand before we go to break, Loomis, Ernst, Sullivan, and Romney are the four that are even gettable on this, Steve Cortez, into the mire of politics. Is that your intelligence tell you the same thing?
Correct. And again, here's the issue, and here's where I hope we can sway those squish senators. It's not about gay marriage. It's about religious liberty. Right. And if we fundamentally get that message across, I hope and believe that we will win them over and stop this.